Every week, one 8-hour video will be uploaded. All novels uploaded here are completed, so you will get a full story without searching or waiting. I have listened to the translated version on web, and there are no major problems with translation. If you want Chinese novel translated, give me the original name of the novel and I will respond to your request as soon as possible. Please make sure your request is on the latest video. If you hear this "u" sound in the novel, it means either question mark or some space is left, like getting materials or experience gain there more but not shown. If after a name is used and after there is silence, it means exclamation marks were used as in shock. I don't know if this will happen in recorded one, but it happened in web version. Chapter 97. Bang! Tang Jin left a harsh remark, slammed the door, and stormed out in a rage. Seeing Tang Jin suffer such a huge setback here, Lu Hui felt incredibly pleased. The grievances and pressure accumulated over the past year finally found release at this moment. She felt incredibly relaxed now, as if she had returned to the days when she had someone to rely on. This feeling was truly wonderful. She secretly glanced at Chen Bo. It seemed this man wasn't as annoying as she thought, even a little roguishly handsome.
Lui, affection plus 10. Lui, affection plus 10. Lui, affection plus 10.
Current affection. -20. Although her attitude towards Chen Bo had changed, Lu Hui still couldn't accept the fact that Chen Bo wanted her to be his mistress. This fact made her feel somewhat humiliated. But compared to the entire company falling into Tang Jin's hands, what was a little humiliation on her part? Tang Jin is a very petty person and holds grudges. You'd better be careful lately and bring a couple more bodyguards when you go out. Lu Hui reminded him, isn't that a good thing for you? If something happens to me, you not only get 50 billion for free, but you also don't have to be my mistress. Lu Hui's ample chest heaved violently, clearly trying to suppress her anger. She found that Chen Bo's mouth could really infuriate people. But he really gave too much, so she couldn't really get angry at him. You're right. I wish both of you would perish together. That would be the best outcome for me. Lu Hui crossed her arms over her chest. Her proud face turned to the side, a blush adding to her fair skin. And actually, Lu Hui looked even more beautiful when she was angry. You just need to do your job as a mistress. You don't need to worry about other things. Chen Bo found that making Lu Hui angry was also a lot of fun. Sure enough, Lu Hui's chest heaved even more violently.
Lui, affection moins 10. Lui, affection moins 10.
Current affection. -30. Lu Hui tried her best to control her emotions with her upbringing. The job of a mistress? So this mistress role was a job? Lu Hui felt like she was being humiliated by Chen Bo and then repeatedly flogged. Chen Bo didn't care about Lu Hui's thoughts. Moreover, it was good to give her some psychological preparation beforehand and a clear positioning. For someone as proud as her, it would normally be impossible for her to accept that her other half was simultaneously seeing multiple women. Instead of trying to fix things when it was too late, it was better to clarify their relationship from the beginning and nip all unstable factors in the bud. Problems that could be solved with money should not involve emotions. Otherwise, even if he had a touring doppelganger, there would be a day when he would be too busy. All right, you're no fun at all. I don't understand business matters, and you don't need to be timid. If you're short on money, just tell me anytime. I'm so poor now that I only have money left. Let's stop here for today. Goodbye to you. So poor that he only had money left? If anyone else had said that to her, Lu Hui would definitely have scoffed, even spat in his face. But coming from Chen Bo's mouth, she found it utterly convincing. 50 billion at his disposal was enough to prove everything. Wait! Lu Hui called out to Chen Bo. You haven't been conquered by my damn charm and are trying to exercise your mistress's rights. Have you? Chen Bo couldn't help but tease her again. Lu Hui was somewhat used to Chen Bo's poisonous tongue and gave him an annoyed glare. President Bo, have you forgotten that you just bought 4 villas in our company? How should these 4 villas be handled? You should give us a plan. Chen Bo rubbed his forehead. He was so busy showing off that he forgot about the villas. But at this moment, he was also in a dilemma. Originally, he planned to buy 1 villa for Lu Fei so they would have a place to meet instead of always going to hotels. But he didn't expect to make Lu Hui his mistress directly. so it wouldn't be appropriate to arrange Lu Fei here. Chun Bo waved his hand. Among these 4 villas, you choose one you like, and it will be our meeting place from now on. This villa will also be registered under your name. Consider it a gift from me. As for the other 3, just register them under your name for now. I haven't decided who to give them to yet. Chun Bo's words once again left Lu Hui and Hu Lili speechless. They once again felt Chun Bo's inhumanly lavish generosity. So, each of these villas is worth over 100 million, and the market price of Jinwan number 1 even exceeds 300 million. Are you planning to give them all away as gifts? Hu Lili's eyes were filled with envy. She really wanted to ask Chun Bo, do you still need a mistress? I don't need 50 billion, just 1 villa, and I'll strike whatever pose you like in advance. Before leaving, Chun Bo turned back handsomely and said, since you are my mistress, I am your strongest backing. Go ahead and do business boldly. Whoever bullied you before, hit them back hard for me. Under Lu Hui's touched gaze, Chun Bo left the office with a flourish. What happened today was too absurd. Lu Hui still couldn't believe it. Felt like a dream. It had been less than an hour since she met Chun Bo. Her predicament was resolved. And she, for no reason, became Chun Bo's mistress. He even gave her a villa worth over 100 million. Although Chun Bo had always been very frivolous and his words were unpleasant. In reality, he had not made any excessive moves from beginning to end. Originally, she thought that since they had already reached this transaction and confirmed their mistress relationship, Chun Bo would eagerly exercise his mistress's rights, and she would not escape today. But Chun Bo didn't do that, and he also said he was her strongest backing. At this moment, Lu Hui was truly captivated by Chun Bo's charm.
Lui, affection plus 10. Lui, affection plus 10. Lui, affection plus 10.
Current affection. 10. Watching Chun Bo's retreating figure, Lu Hui finally let out a sigh of relief and slumped into the boss's chair. Her previously wary heart finally relaxed. She found that Chun Bo wasn't as unbearable as she thought. Besides being lustful, he didn't seem to have any other major flaws. And a man being lustful is a common biological trait. What man isn't lustful? Even a good man like her father had several half-siblings for her in America. This, it seemed, was not an unforgivable flaw. After leaving Jinwan Mansion, looking at Lu Hui's mere 10 affection, he had some regrets. It wasn't because he spent 50 billion on Lu Hui only to get such a small amount of affection. Rather, at this stage, if he had used **** on her, the increase in affection should have been the greatest. Anyway, he and Lu Hui had already reached this agreement, and she had already become his mistress. This request wasn't excessive, right? Compared to 50 billion, this small matter wasn't even interest. Chun Bo thought about it, then decided against it. As long as she was ambitious, she would be interested in money. As long as she was interested in money, there would be plenty of opportunities. If 50 billion wasn't enough, he'd give her 100 billion. If 100 billion wasn't enough, he'd give her 1 trillion. Chapter 98. Lately, the rage points have been accumulating too slowly. Since the last 6 consecutive draw, only 1350 rage points have been collected so far. He originally thought that putting on a big show in front of Tang Jin would definitely net him a hefty sum. Unexpectedly, Tang Jin, that old schemer, was so composed that he only triggered rage points twice. Too slow. It's really too slow. At this rate, when will he be able to win the 1 billion cash prize from this rigged system? Don't let his recent calm demeanor fool you when he transferred 5 billion to Lu Hui. In reality, he was practically drooling. He also wondered if Lu Hui understood the situation and would give him some dividends. But Chun Bo firmly believed that it's better to rely on himself than others, so he still had to earn rage points. And he had to earn them aggressively. Aside from the 5 billion he transferred to Lu Hui, he actually hadn't even spent 200 million yet. And 80 million of that was directly transferred to Lin Ruoshi. Excluding that 80 million, he had only spent about 100 million. Indeed, when a poor person suddenly gets a windfall, they don't know how to spend it. He realized he had been too conservative before. From today onwards, he must live it up. He remembered that night when he spent on over 2,000 carnivals for Su Xiaorong, and he gained over 2,000 rage points from her fans. Although the rage points generated by these fans in a single instance weren't high, their sheer number was overwhelming. This gave Chen Bo a great idea. Instead of attacking one by one, it's better to directly engage in large-scale group attacks online. Chen Bo immediately checked the 10 target beauties most recently bound in the rich second-generation group. Among them, there were indeed 3 beauties who worked in the live streaming industry. This was not surprising, as the live streaming industry makes money too quickly. As long as you have some looks and talent, earning 3,000 to 5,000 in a single night is not a problem for the less popular ones. For popular female streamers like Zhang Jingwen, earning 100,000 or 80,000 in a night is a minor matter. Not to mention top streamers like Su Xiaorong. This isn't even calculated daily, it's easily tens of millions a year. Is there any other profession that makes money faster than being a female streamer? This also led to more and more girls trying every possible way to get into this industry. Moreover, flaunting wealth ostentatiously online had another advantage: gaining more bindings. In this world full of hardships, there are simply too many people who resent the rich. Hardworking people toil away for a month and can't even earn 18,000, while some people spend tens of millions on female streamers online with a single click. Who would they hate if not you? They would love to dig up all 18 generations of your ancestors and repeatedly desecrate their graves. What a massive demographic that is. Will he still be afraid of not getting rage points then? Chen Bo checked and found that among these 3 system-bound beauties, only one was currently live streaming. Name: Feng Enan. Profession: gaming streamer. Online ID: Enan Guai. Age: 24 years old. Height: 166 cm. Weight: 46 kg. Looks: 83 points out of 100. Number of passengers: 0. Marital status: unmarried. Feng Enan's favorability towards the host: 0. Feng Enan's live streaming platform was not Douyin, but the Tiger Eye app, which is more concentrated with game players. Chen Bo downloaded a Tiger Eye app and created a new ID. The ID name was still Daily One Bo. The alias names on Tiger Eye app can be duplicated, just like WeChat IDs. You can choose any name you like. Only the back-end WeChat account is unique. After completing registration, Chen Bo became an unnoticed nobody again, because he found that on this platform, many people changed their nicknames to Daily One Bo or President Bo. No matter which live stream room you entered, there would be several President Boss constantly sending bullet comments, but never sending gifts. Seeing this phenomenon so often, everyone no longer believed that the real President Bo would appear here. After all, the legendary President Bo had only appeared on Douyin. Others chose this nickname just for fun and to show off. Chen Bo directly searched for and entered the live stream room of his bound target, Enan Guai. Unexpectedly, Enan Guai was also a King of Glory game streamer and a legendary king with 150 stars. Her most proficient hero, Xiao Qiao, had a battle power score of 15,000. When Chen Bo first entered, she had just won a match with a score of 903. Her live stream room's popularity had even reached 1 million. Her voice carried a slight Sichuan Chongqing accent, quick-witted and a little humorous. In her live stream room, it felt like listening to a crosstalk performance. Solid information. The maximum single top-up amount on Tiger Eye app reached 500,000. Yet, Chen Bo still spent nearly half an hour to top up 100 million. Streamer: call me President Bo Gugu, you're so handsome, and I'll send you 1,000 luxury yachts. On Tiger Eye app, a luxury yacht is worth 5,000 Dragon Country coins. 1,000 luxury yachts would be 5 million Dragon Country coins. Damn. Another one using President Bo's name to scam people everywhere. If you're President Bo, then who am I? Dude, save it. There are dozens of President Boss in the live stream room. Your trick won't work anymore. If you're the real President Bo, I'll perform eating poop upside down for you. That guy upstairs, I support you on this one. I can't stand people who use President Bo's name to scam. If you've got the guts, send a luxury yacht first before talking. Seeing Chen Bo's small account being attacked, Feng Enan immediately smiled and advised, Don't be like that, you guys. What if Gugu really is President Bo, and you make him leave? I'll cry myself to death. President Bo Gugu, you're so handsome. Fong Enin shouted generously in her live stream room. As a female streamer, Fong Enin couldn't possibly not have heard of President Bo's name. She had also fantasized countless times about President Bo actually coming to her live stream room. However, too many people had been using President Bo's name to scam recently, so she no longer held much hope. But, adhering to the principle of not offending anyone, she still enthusiastically shouted, "President Bo is so handsome," with Fong Enin's shout of, "President Bo is so handsome." A cruise ship floated across the azure waters. To be honest, this special effect was not as impactful as Douyin's carnival. Wow! Thank you, President Bo, for the luxury yacht. Heart. Regardless of whether this was the real President Bo or not, Fong Enin believed it was always right to thank a big brother who could send a luxury yacht. Damn! He really sent the streamer a luxury yacht. Could he actually be the real President Bo? You bunch of President Boss better learn. If you're going to act like President Bo, act more convincingly. Don't ruin President Bo's reputation. It's just one luxury yacht. He probably couldn't stand the netizens' sarcasm and reluctantly sent a gift to the streamer. If you've got the guts, send another luxury yacht and let's see. However, just when everyone in the live stream room didn't believe this was the real President Bo, a familiar yet jaw-dropping scene unfolded. Daily 1 Bo. Sent streamer an Nguai Luxury Yacht X2. Daily 1 Bo. Sent streamer an Nguai Luxury Yacht X3. Daily 1 Bo. Sent streamer an Nguai Luxury Yacht X4. Daily 1 Bo. Sent streamer an Nguai Luxury Yacht X5. Chapter 99. Daily 1 Bo. Sent streamer an Nguai 88 Luxury Yachts. Daily 1 Bo. Sent streamer an Nguai 89 Luxury Yachts. Daily 1 Bo. Sent streamer an Nguai 90 Luxury Yachts. Watching one luxury yacht after another glide across the azure sea. All the skeptical voices in the live stream room disappeared. Holy crap! This is really President Bo himself. Such an inhumanly extravagant gesture. Who else could it be besides President Bo? President Bo, I apologize for my earlier rashness. Please forgive me for not recognizing your greatness. Where's the one who said he'd eat excrement while standing on his head? You can come out and eat now. That swindler who was scamming for food and drinks ran away a long time ago. Thank you, President Bo, for the luxury yachts. President Bo is so mighty. Love him. Moi. Does President Bo usually play games? I can carry you to Challenger. Big brother. Fong Enin's expression was even more excited than winning the lottery. The smile on her lips was harder to suppress than an AK, and she couldn't be blamed. The highest lottery prize was only 10 million, and she would still have to pay 20% in income tax. But gaining President Bo's favor meant achieving financial freedom was no longer a dream. She might even skyrocket to success. That female streamer named Rong Xiaosu that night was a precedent. Chun Bo stopped after sending 100 luxury yachts. It wasn't because he ran out of money, but because he had something more important to do. That was to provoke hatred. His purpose in sending gifts to Fong Enin this time was to accumulate rage points. Only by attracting enough hatred would Fong Enin's loyal fans bind with the system and generate rage points. Sending gifts was physically demanding work. If it weren't for these rage points, he wouldn't bother sending gifts to these female internet celebrities. Doing this was more tiring than taking care of his little brother. It also took a long time, often 1 or 2 hours. Seeing the luxury yacht stop appearing on the public screen, everyone in the live stream room had a question mark above their heads. He only sent 100 luxury yachts. This wasn't like President Bo's style. Could it be that President Bo's financial power was waning? Just as everyone looked puzzled, President Bo posted something on the public screen that no one had expected. Streamer, how many gifts do I need to send to sleep with you? Chun Bo asked very directly, completely disregarding Fong Enin's feelings. I've already spent hundreds of thousands on you. Do I still need to save your face? The live stream room instantly fell silent. Even Feng Enan herself was speechless in front of the camera. In the past, many people would make such remarks in the live stream room, but she knew these were just poor losers making fun, so she didn't need to pay attention. But the person in front of her was President Bo. Those 100 luxury yachts earlier were enough to prove his identity. Would President Bo also make such jokes? Obviously not. Feng Enan didn't know how to answer for a moment. She had a boyfriend. If she agreed, how would she face him? If she refused him directly, President Bo would definitely never come to her live stream room again. A super-rich patron like President Bo was a god-tier figure that many streamers dreamed of. Someone they couldn't even beg to come. This was her chance to reach the top in one step. If she missed this opportunity today, she would regret it for the rest of her life. At this moment, Feng Enan's loyal fans in the live stream room started to speak up. Is it great to be rich? Always asking people to sleep with you, go home and ask your mom to sleep with you. Our Enan isn't that kind of person. Enan, let's ignore him. This guy is clearly scum who frequently plays with women. Right? We don't earn such dirty money. We're not without beauty, we don't need his stinking money. And you play games so well, achieving financial freedom is only a matter of time. Feng Enan's fans began to clamor on the public screen. Ding! Detected individuals with malicious intent toward the host. Ding! Detected individuals with malicious intent toward the host. Ding! Detected individuals with malicious intent toward the host. Here they come. Here they come. In an instant, Chun Bo bound 20 more individuals with malicious intent toward him. Ding! Rage points from XXX. +5. Ding! Rage points from XXX. +10. Ding! Rage points from XXX. +5. Ding! Rage points from XXX. +10. Although they were all 5 or 10 rage points, the sheer quantity was overwhelming. In just a few minutes, Chun Bo received over 500 rage points. Feng Enan was speechless. It's easy for you all to say. She did earn some money from game streaming, but compared to President Bo's donations, it was a mere trifle. And given the choice, who would want to stream for almost 10 hours every day, playing games until they felt sick? Feng Enan found herself in a dilemma. Suddenly, a fan's comment gave her an idea. Damn it, aren't you rich? Send RNN 100 million and see. Maybe RNN will agree. Right? Setting a goal that even President Bo would find difficult to achieve could perfectly resolve this crisis. So she immediately seized the opportunity. President Bo, if you can break your previous record in Enan's live stream room tonight, I might consider it. As a streamer, she couldn't explicitly ask fans to send her gifts. But asking Chun Bo to break his previous record was already quite obvious. That meant surpassing Su Xiaorong's 40 million. I don't want might consider. I want a definite answer. Chun Bo posted on the public screen. Who are you trying to fool with might consider? Only a definite answer could provoke her fans' malice towards him. Okay, President Bo, if you send Enan 100 million, I promise to sleep with you. Feng Enan believed it was impossible for anyone to be so crazy as to spend 100 million in a live stream room just to sleep with her for one night. With that kind of money, what kind of female celebrity wouldn't willingly lie down? After getting Feng Enan's definite answer, Chun Bo continued to send out luxury yachts in an endless stream. He maintained a frequency of 1 per second. At first, Feng Enan and the people in the live stream room were only a little surprised. But slowly, they entered a state of utter shock. 1 hour later, watching one luxury yacht after another glide by, Feng Enan was completely overwhelmed, sitting motionless in front of the camera like a stone statue. 2 hours later, the live stream room's popularity had already surpassed 300 million, and the number of concurrent online viewers also exceeded 1 million. This directly broke the record for the highest number of concurrent online viewers in a live stream since the establishment of the Tiger Eye live streaming platform. However, even though the number of people in the live stream room had exceeded 1 million, the public screen was completely silent. Because all the streamers and viewers across the entire platform had collectively turned to stone. The entire venue trembled in shock. The entire venue was numb. Everyone was dumbfounded. One by one, They no longer knew what words to use to describe the scene before them. Unprecedented, unparalleled in history, and Feng Enin herself was utterly bewildered. Beyond bewildered, just bewildered. Ding, rage points from XXX, plus 10. Ding, rage points from XXX, plus 15. Ding, rage points from XXX, plus 15. Ding, rage points from XXX, plus 20. In these 2 hours, Chun Bo had accumulated over 1,400 more rage points. Although it didn't meet his expectations, it was much more cost-effective than the 5 billion he spent on Lu Hui. Chapter 100.
Holy crap, I'm numb.
He's already gifted 10,000 luxury cruise ships. Does President Bo really have no limits? Oh my god, one luxury cruise ship is worth 5,000. So 10,000 of them is 50 million. That's half a small goal. Such a fuss. A bunch of country bumpkins who haven't seen the world. This is just my dad's basic operation. Basic op, don't overdo it. Anything from President Bo is a masterpiece. It's over. After seeing President Bo's grand gesture, I've developed the illusion that even beggars wouldn't want 100,000 yuan. You're all focused on President Bo's amazing generosity. Is no one concerned about whether an Nguai will fulfill her promise? Isn't that obvious? Do you really think a big shot like President Bo is a pushover? If an Nguai dares to toy with President Bo, he'll make her start over in a minute. The Tiger Eye app platform almost exploded. President Bo's astonishing actions once again updated everyone's perception, making most streamers and netizens remember his name. As long as someone mentioned a wealthy big shot in a live stream, the first person they would think of would undoubtedly be President Bo. Someone had calculated that since President Bo's appearance, the gifts he had given to female streamers had already exceeded a small goal. He broke records and created legends again and again. Who else could be more extravagant, more inhumanly rich than President Bo? If they knew that President Bo had directly recharged a small goal in the back end just to get Feng in, they would probably all kneel and shout, "God Bo! Great President Bo! Thank you for gifting me so many presents. I'm so happy. What should I do? How about an sings you a song or dances for you?" Feng Enin seemed to have forgotten that she was a gaming streamer and had never sung or danced in her live stream to please fans. But at this moment, she abandoned her principles. Don't do all that meaningless stuff. Remember your promise. I'll come to Sichuan 2 days later to find you. Get ready. Chun Bo directly typed this sentence on the public screen. Feng Enin was speechless for a moment. She couldn't help but complain in her heart. I wouldn't go back on my word, but did you have to say it in front of over 1 million people? Where will I put my face now? What if her boyfriend and relatives saw it? And there were still many husband fans in the live stream who were infatuated with her looks. But this was exactly the effect Chun Bo wanted. 50 million had been spent, so of course, he had to maximize the benefits and generate as much anger as possible. As for Feng Enin's face, you've already taken the money. What face do you need? Great President Bo, can we please not talk about this in the live stream? How about I add your WeChat and we chat privately? Feng Enin pleaded in the live stream. Sure enough, less than 3 seconds after Feng Enin sent that message. Ding. Anger value from XXX. Plus 30. Ding. Anger value from XXX. Plus 20. Ding. Anger value from XXX. Plus 30. Ding. Anger value from XXX. Plus 150. Ding. Triggered an anger critical hit of over 100 points. Rewarding speed attribute plus 1. Current host attributes. Strength 18. Speed 15. Endurance 15. This wave, he gained another 520 points of anger value. The current total anger value had reached 3,320 points. That meant Chun Bo had gained nearly 2,000 points of anger value in this wave. It was so damn worth it. Of course, Chun Bo wouldn't actually go to Sichuan to find Feng Enin in the next few days, but it was hard to say he wouldn't exercise that right in the future. Although Feng Enin's looks were not as good as Lin Ruoshi's or Lu Hui's, she was quite attractive among ordinary people, and her personality was lively, cheerful, and very humorous. She was like a fresh, juicy, happy fruit. Quite fun. It's over, it's over. They've all added WeChat. And indefinitely can't escape this time. Why run? To receive President Bo's favor is the greatest blessing of her life. Others can't even beg for it. Great President Bo, do you still need girls? I want to sign up too, and my older sister. We're twins, you know? Scum. Degenerate, the social atmosphere is ruined by people like this. Can no one control him? Exactly. Can you do whatever you want just because you have money? I suggest all you internet big shots investigate this person's ancestors all the way back. I don't believe his money is clean. Does this count as publicly soliciting prostitution? Where are the relevant departments? I want to report him. The voices on the internet gradually split into two factions. One group treated President Bo as an idol, recognizing him as their father, seeking to be kept, and becoming sworn brothers. The other group was filled with cynical curses. Ding detected XXX harboring ill will towards the host. The system is binding. Ding detected XXX harboring ill will towards the host. The system is binding. Ding detected XXX harboring ill will towards the host. The system is binding. The system bound over 100 more targets. Although Chun Bo didn't know them, their malice towards Chun Bo was indeed real. This wave really scared Chun Bo. He wasn't ignorant of the saying, "A tall tree catches the wind." It seemed he should use such widespread hate-generating tactics less often. Those who incur public wrath often don't end well. Chun Bo exited the live stream, and at this moment, the messages in that rich second-generation group exploded. Many people were still at ing President Bo in the group. Big shot President Bo. You are truly magnificent. But could you please inform your brothers in the group before you act, so we can get a spot in advance? Awesome, President Bo. You are my idol. From now on, you're my big boss, and I, your little brother, have decided to follow you. President Bo, do you still need girls? My sister is stunningly beautiful. I can be your matchmaker. Bai Xiaofei, are you trying to harm our President Bo? Is your sister a normal person? Thank you all for your kindness. It's all just a game, just for fun. Next time, I will definitely inform everyone in advance. With so many people at ing him in the group, Chun Bo still politely replied. Seeing President Bo speak in the group, the atmosphere in the group instantly became lively again. Inside the Hilton Hotel, Zhang Jingwen watched Chun Bo's astonishing feat the entire time. She felt both envy and jealousy. She had been the first to meet Chun Bo, yet the gifts she received from him were the fewest. This game influencer, in terms of figure and appearance, how could she compare to herself? And Chun Bo had even said he wanted to sleep with Feng Enen in front of so many people in the live stream. What about herself? She had already come to Yangcheng, even actively seducing Chun Bo, but Chun Bo showed no intention of sleeping with her. At this moment, she decided she would stay in Yangcheng and vowed to win over Chun Bo. Even if it was just as a mistress, she didn't mind. Wanying real estate headquarters. Too much. I just agreed to be his mistress, and he's already flirting everywhere. Is he that desperate? Lu Hui exited Feng Enen's live stream, cursing at her phone. Hu Lily smiled playfully. Darling, you're only President Bo's mistress, not his girlfriend, much less his wife. This isn't something a mistress can control. Chapter 101. Inside Starry Cafe, Wang Hao and Lin Mengyao sat opposite each other. There's something wrong. Chun Bo definitely has a problem. I suspect he's not even human. Wang Hao looked horrified, as if he had been startled. He cautiously glanced around, then lowered his voice and said, Mengyao, I suspect Chun Bo is an evil spirit. Lin Mengyao chuckled, annoyed. Wang Hao, have you been reading too many novels? Or are you on drugs? Where would evil spirits come from in this world? Don't you dare not believe me. Look, is the Chun Bo we know now the same Chun Bo we knew before? No. I suspect he was possessed by an evil spirit long ago. I personally saw two identical Chun Bos, and what's even more surprising is that one day, another Chun Bo was with my mommy, cough. In short, Three Chin Boss appeared at the same time. If he's not an evil spirit, what is he? He's approaching your sister and my mommy. It must be Chun Bo's will seeking revenge on us. We need to find a solution quickly, or else my mommy's and your sister's lives will be taken by him. The more Wang Hao thought about it, the more scared he became, and the fear made him break out in a cold sweat. He always felt that Chun Bo was around him, staring at him with his eerie gaze. Lin Mengyao thought for a moment. Recently, Chun Bo had indeed been acting very unusually. Not only did he have an outrageous amount of money, spending tens of millions on gifts for female internet celebrities, but he was also incredibly skilled in fighting, and his basketball skills were exaggeratedly good. But that doesn't prove Chun Bo is an evil spirit. Isn't it just that Chun Bo deliberately hid and disguised himself before, all for a sincere love with her? I don't believe there are evil spirits in this world. You're probably just too stressed, and that's why you're having hallucinations. Hallucinations, my ass? I'm kindly reminding you. Why don't you believe me? Look, he just spent half a small target on a female streamer online again. Is this something a normal person would do? With that money, he could find any kind of girl at our school. Even your sister. Didn't Chun Bo get her just by spending a little money? How dare you talk about my sister like that? She was just temporarily misled by Chun Bo. Your mommy is the same. A slut. Lin Mengyao, who are you calling names? My mommy isn't that kind of person. Isn't she? She was the first one to get involved with Chun Bo. Doesn't she look at her age? So shameless. You. Damn it. Mengyao, now is not the time to argue about this. We need to find a way to save them quickly. Otherwise, if Chun Bo drains their essence, it will be too late to save them. Then what do you plan to do? Wang Hao, like a startled rabbit, glanced around again, and only after confirming that Chun Bo was not in sight, did he lean forward, lowering his voice to a whisper. I found a very powerful master at Shaolin Temple. He will definitely be able to subdue Chun Bo. It's just, his price is a bit high. No way. Isn't subduing demons and evil spirits the master's duty? He still charges money? Lin Mengyao said in astonishment. Masters need to live too. How much would that be? 1 million. We'll split it 50-50. You pay 500,000. I think you're the one who's crazy, believing a scammer like that. Lin Mengyao glared at Wang Hao as if he were insane, then picked up her bag and stood up. Don't go. Wang Hao quickly grabbed Lin Mengyao, who was about to leave. That master really isn't a scammer. I'll pay 700,000, and you pay 300,000. Is that okay? Lin Mengyao forcefully shook off Wang Hao. Forget 300,000. I wouldn't even give 30 yuan. I suggest you download an anti-fraud app or go see a neurologist. Where do evil spirits come from in this world? Lin Mengyao gave Wang Hao a disdainful look, then turned and walked out of the starry cafe. At the same time, she cursed herself internally, wondering how she could have betrayed Chun Bo for such a man. Now all she felt was regret, nothing but regret. Lin Mengyao, if you don't believe me, there will be a day you regret it. Wang Hao roared at Lin Mengyao's retreating back. Wang Hao's roar instantly drew the attention of everyone in the cafe. The gazes of these people immediately sent shivers down Wang Hao's spine, because he felt as if each pair of eyes was Chun Bo staring intently at him. Financial City. Shangtang Financial Office. Damn it, what is President Bo's background? The amount he spent on gifts for these female internet celebrities must be over 100 million. Bang! Tang Jin gnashed his teeth, picked up the desk phone from the table, and furiously smashed it to the ground, where it instantly shattered into pieces, debris flying everywhere. He truly couldn't understand where this President Bo had come from, yet his power was terrifyingly immense. What annoyed him even more was that this guy had made Lu Hui his mistress. Even the Wanying real estate project, which he had been planning for a long time and invested a large amount of capital into, was at risk of being aborted due to Chun Bo's appearance. He had already received news that Lu Hui, having secured funding, had begun to retaliate. However, she hadn't stirred up too much trouble yet. If the acquisition of the Wanying real estate project failed, the losses he would incur would be unbearable. Could even affect his position in Shangtang Group. All of this was due to the appearance of this President Bo. The pretty lady sitting opposite Tang Jin maintained a charming smile. What's that? I heard that President Bo recharged over 100 million on the Tiger Eye app today. And even the executives of Tiger Eye app were shocked. This news made Tang Jin look up in astonishment. What kind of monster was this? He recharged 100 million in one go, just to sleep with a small internet celebrity. Have you still not uncovered his true background? The pretty lady shook her head. It's strange, his background, while inconsistent with his current status, is incredibly real. I specifically had people investigate his elementary and middle schools, and found that Chun Bo really did attend those schools. I even saw his childhood photos, and the person in the photos is indeed Chun Bo himself. If he really was born into a wealthy family, what would be the purpose of him doing all this? Fake, it must be fake. I've had direct contact with him. He's arrogant, conceited, calm, and confident. This kind of temperament definitely cannot be cultivated by an ordinary family. Investigate. Keep investigating for me. No, President Tang. Are you really planning to go against someone with such an extraordinary background? Tang Jun revealed a sinister smile. The bigger the storm, the more valuable the fish. This arrogant, self-important, and wealthy idiot is my opportunity. As long as I take him down, I will definitely become the successor of Shangtang Group. The pretty lady shook her head helplessly. She knew that Tang Jun was very conceited and never changed his mind once he decided on something. So, she didn't intend to persuade Tang Jun further. All she could do was follow Tang Jun's orders and try her best to increase his chances of winning. Having just finished chatting in the rich second-generation group, Chun Bo's phone suddenly rang. Yang Hong? Little Bo, get out here quickly. I'm taking you to pick up girls. Chapter 102. Given Chun Bo's current inflated ego, if anyone else spoke to him like that, he would have already retorted. But Yang Hong was different. He was Chun Bo's childhood friend, a loyal buddy with whom he'd shared a single popsicle. They had known each other since kindergarten and were also neighbors. From elementary to junior high, from junior high to high school, and then from high school to university, they were always the best of brothers. They skipped classes together, got into fights together, chased girls together, and even watched their first adult film together. When their parents found out, they took their beatings together. After more than 10 years, their brotherhood was that strong. It was only during university that Chun Bo went to the University of International Business and Economics, while Yang Hong went to the University of Science and Technology. Compared to Chun Bo's double non-first-tier university, Yang Hong's University of Science and Technology was a legitimate 985 and 211 institution. Most childhood friends, due to differences and the passage of time, see their feelings gradually fade, slowly losing contact. But Chun Bo and Yang Hong did not. Although their contact became less frequent, they were the kind of brothers who didn't need constant communication but would always show up when needed, ready to go through fire and water for each other. 10 minutes later, Chun Bo arrived at the east gate of the school. By the roadside at the school's east gate, a brand new Audi A5 was parked. Yang Hong, dressed in a white t-shirt and jeans, looking sharp, held a lit cigarette between his fingers, leaning against the door of the Audi A5 like a cool guy from a TV show. Yang Hong's looks weren't bad. He just wasn't tall, only 170 centimeters. Actually, 170 centimeters isn't short. The average height for men nationwide is only 169 centimeters. But Yang Hong always believed his height was his weakness, so he would deliberately dress up to boost his confidence. Seeing Chun Bo, Yang Hong gave him a showy wave. "Bozy, isn't my car nice?" An Audi A5 just picked it up. Cost over 340,000 all in. What the F***CK? Did you strike it rich? Chun Bo asked, astonished. After more than 10 years of brotherhood, Yang Hong knew what he was up to just by a twitch of his butt. This guy definitely bought a new car and came to show off to him. Chun Bo had seen plenty of luxury cars, and this Audi A5 was just okay. However, as his best brother, the emotional value had to be delivered. If his brother wanted to show off, even if he wasn't surprised, he had to pretend to be surprised. But Chun Bo was indeed a little surprised. Chun Bo knew Yang Hong's family's financial situation very well. Although not as bad as Chun Bo's, it wasn't much better. His family certainly didn't have the money to support him in buying this car. Now that Yang Hong could spend over 300,000 to buy this car, it proved that this kid had really made money. Sure enough, Yang Hong took a deep drag from his cigarette, looked up at the sky at a 45-degree angle, and said with an air of sophistication, "Yeah, I made a little money. Not much, just over 300,000. Did you sell a kidney?"
Chen Bo joked.
"You're the one who sold a kidney. Can you even get 300,000 for a kidney? You didn't go down the path of crime, did you? Brother, if you have any girlfriends that need me to take care of, you have to tell me in advance. Get lost, you. I do live stream sales. Every penny is clean. You should stop delivering food too. Come work with me, and I guarantee you'll earn $1 million or $2 million a year easily." Although there was some exaggeration, Chun Bo believed that Yang Hong was sincerely trying to help him make money. In this day and age, to have a way to make money and still think of him, Chun Bo was somewhat touched. "You didn't make 300,000 and then spend it all on this car, did you?" Chun Bo walked around the Audi A5, examining it up and down. Yang Hong thought Chun Bo was envious, and his eyes were full of pride. "How could I? I bought it with a loan. When doing business, you have to keep some capital. Besides, the loan interest isn't high, only 7,000 a month, within my means." 7,000 a month isn't expensive? Wouldn't it be better to buy a 100,000 yuan commuter car outright? Yang Hong gave Chun Bo an indifferent glare. "You don't know anything. If you don't have a decent car, those girls won't even give you a second look. Plus, you need to show off when doing business." Chun Bo believed Yang Hong's words. In fact, he had experienced it deeply during this time. If he were still the delivery boy, Lu Fei, Lin Ruoshi, and Zhang Jingwen wouldn't even glance at him. "Bozy, you probably haven't driven such a luxurious car, have you? Do you want to experience the thrill of a luxury car?" Yang Hong proudly jingled the keys in his hand. "No thanks. I'm afraid I'll scratch your precious car, and you'll fight me to the death. All right, if you ever need a car in the future, just ask." The fact that Yang Hong was willing to let him drive this Audi A5 made Chun Bo once again feel the brotherhood between them. Unless he considered him a true brother, he wouldn't be willing to let him drive his new car. Sometimes even blood brothers wouldn't allow it. Chun Bo sat in the passenger seat. He noticed a beautiful bouquet of roses and a Hermes gift bag in the back seat. "This is?" Yang Hong, who had buckled his seatbelt, chuckled sheepishly. "Didn't I say I'd take you to pick up girls? I've arranged to meet Wenqing. I've decided to confess to her tonight and win her over in one go." Wenqing was Chun Bo and Yang Hong's high school classmate. Yang Hong had been in love with Wenqing since high school, but due to his financial embarrassment, Yang Hong had always kept his affection hidden. Only Chun Bo knew about this. They say money is a man's courage, and it seemed Yang Hong had become bolder after making money. "Are you out of your mind? You're bringing me along when you confess to Wenqing? Are you trying to get me to help you win her over? You're still thinking of me for such a good thing, brothers for life." Chun Bo gave Yang Hong a thumbs up. "Get lost, you. I can lend you my car, but never a woman. Then why did you call me? To be a witness to your love." Yang Hong gave Chun Bo a disdainful glare. "I'm not that bored. She has a friend with her tonight. Your task is to help me distract her friend, giving me a chance to be alone with Wenqing. Got it. All right. So I'm just here to cover for you. What's wrong? Are you upset about covering for me? I'm telling you, her friend is much prettier than your Lin Mengyao. This is an opportunity for you. I'm not interested. I'll pay for all the expenses for you and Wenqing's friend tonight. How about that? That's more like it. Driving all the way. They say confident men walk with a swagger and drive too." Yang Hong accelerated and braked abruptly, weaving through traffic. His driving skills were so flashy that Chun Bo almost threw up. Finally, led by Yang Hong, they arrived at an upscale restaurant where the consumption was clearly not low. The entire restaurant had a very artistic ambience. Clean, tidy, and tranquil, coupled with comfortable music, it was very pleasant. Enjoying a delicious meal in such an elegant and comfortable place is one of the favorite lifestyles of many urban beauties. Elegance has always been synonymous with expense. A regular meal here could cost thousands or even tens of thousands. Choosing this place, it seemed certain that Yang Hong would be thoroughly fleeced tonight. Chapter 103. After looking around, Chun Bo finally saw Wen Qing, whom he hadn't seen since high school graduation. They say women change a lot as they grow up, especially after going to college. Once they fully mature, it's like they've become a completely different person. Today's Wen Qing, in Chun Bo's eyes, could score an 80. She was wearing an LV floral mini dress, and a classic Bulgari 4-leaf clover necklace adorned her neck. This outfit alone was worth at least tens of thousands. Sitting next to Wen Qing was another girl, also dressed in designer brands, wearing silver-rimmed glasses, and with an arrogant expression like a pampered canary. Chun Bo's first impression of this girl was poorly refined. Meeting old classmates was supposed to be a very happy and anticipated event. But the moment Chun Bo saw them, his jaw nearly dropped. Not because they were incredibly beautiful or pretty, but because when Chun Bo and Yang Hong arrived, the table was already laden with all sorts of delicacies. Lobster, sashimi, Australian steak, sea urchin fried rice, crab paste pasta. The amount was enough for 10 people, let alone 4. Most importantly, Yang Hong, who was hosting the dinner, hadn't even arrived, yet Wen Qing, as the invited guest, had already ordered and even started eating. This kind of behavior is disrespectful no matter where you are. But Wen Qing and her friend did exactly that, and they were chatting happily, chirping like little birds. Upon seeing Yang Hong, Wen Qing didn't even budge her but from the chair, smiling at Yang Hong and Chun Bo. "Why are you so late?" "Wow, Chun Bo, long time no see. This must be our first meeting since the college entrance exam. But you've gotten handsomer." "Sorry, we're in a hurry and have important things to do later, so we ordered and started eating first." "You don't mind, do you? You've already eaten, and you're still asking if others mind?" If it weren't for Yang Hong's interest in her, Chun Bo would have taught her a lesson in manners in a minute. "How could I mind? I'm just here for a free meal." Chun Bo still couldn't resist a sarcastic remark. Wen Qing seemed oblivious to the sarcasm, maintaining an arrogant smile. "Then quickly sit down. The sea urchin fried rice here is really good. You probably haven't had anything this good. So come and try it." Yang Hong was also stunned, forcing an awkward smile. Ching, didn't you say you were free all evening? Why do you suddenly have something important to do?" Yang Hong had planned for Chun Bo to distract the girl next to Wen Qing after dinner. Then he would find a quiet place to confess his feelings to Wen Qing. Wen Qing's move completely disrupted Yang Hong's plan. "Sorry, things came up so suddenly. I didn't have time to tell you. But we're still eating together, aren't we? We can meet up again next time." "All right."
Yang Hong reluctantly agreed.
In front of Wen Qing, money and that Audi A5 still failed to give Yang Hong confidence. He was still just a humble simp. "Let me introduce you to a great beauty. This is my roommate and best friend, Fong Yingying." As soon as Chun Bo and Yang Hong sat down, Wen Qing briefly introduced the girl next to her. And the girl named Fong Yingying seemed very interested in Chun Bo. "Hello, classmate. Is your name Chun Bo? What an interesting name. How about we exchange contact information?" Chun Bo wasn't surprised by this. As his physical attributes continued to improve, he had a chiseled face, well-defined muscles, and sharp stereo features. Coupled with his 180 centimeters height, he had a strong appeal to girls. He already had no good feelings for Wen Qing and Fong Yingying and was just looking for an excuse to refuse. Wen Qing spoke up. "Chun Bo, aren't you delivering food every day now? How come your skin isn't tanned at all, and it's still so radiant? Do you have a secret to skincare? If you do, you must share it with us." It wasn't strange that she knew he was delivering food, as Yang Hong visited Wen Qing every few days. Her words seemed to be a reminder to Fong Yingying. This guy is just a food delivery driver. Sure enough, as soon as she said that, Fong Yingying, who had just pulled out her phone, immediately put it away. "Oh, sorry. My phone is out of battery. The topic of exchanging contact information was never brought up again. The meal was utterly uninteresting. It was as if Chun Bo was only able to eat it because of her charity, with Wenqing flaunting her superiority throughout. Wenqing and Fang Yingying each took only one bite of every dish on the table, leaving the rest as if bestowing it upon Chen Bo and Yang Hong, never looking at it again. 10 minutes later, Wenqing and Fang Yingying had eaten their fill. Ah Hong, didn't you say you were going to give me a Hermes bag today?
Yang Hong's mouth twitched.
This was the gift he had spent 30,000 yuan on, preparing for his confession. He had thought that since Wenqing was busy with something important this time, he would give it to her when he next asked her out to confess. After all, a 30,000 yuan bag wasn't cheap. But since he was going to give it to Wenqing anyway, he might as well give it now. He gave an awkward smile. I left it in the car. Why don't you come with me to the car to get it? Yang Hong thought since he was going to give it to her anyway, and he had roses, he might as well take this opportunity to confess to her directly in the parking lot. No thanks. The parking lot is so stuffy, and I don't want to walk. Can you bring it here? Yang Hong's mouth twitched again, although he really wanted to seize this opportunity. Asking him to confess to Wenqing in the restaurant in front of so many people was something he couldn't bring himself to do, and with such short notice, Yang Hong thought about it and decided against it. Soon, Yang Hong brought up the Hermes bag he had prepared from the car, and the bouquet of vibrant roses remained in the car. Thank you, Ah Hong. I knew you were the best to me. Love you. Wenqing caressed the bag in her hands, unable to part with it, her gaze fixed on the bag as she spoke without even looking at Yang Hong. But these words were very gratifying to Yang Hong. A simple love you made Yang Hong feel that it was all worth it. As long as you like it. Of course I like it. It truly is a designer bag. It perfectly matches my style. Wenqing held the bag in her hand and started taking selfies frantically with her phone. She then chose her favorite photo and added a caption. Girls should treat themselves well and give themselves the best. She posted it to her moments. It's getting late, and we're in a hurry, Ah Hong. Sorry about today. Let's meet up again next time. With her emotional needs satisfied, Wenqing was in a wonderful mood, flashing a charming smile at Yang Hong. Where are you going? Can I give you a ride? Yang Hong hadn't forgotten to show off his Audi A5 in front of Wenqing. No need. I'm already very happy that you gave me the bag. I wouldn't dare trouble you for such a short distance. Thank you for the dinner and the bag today. We'll be leaving now, bye-bye. Wenqing didn't give Yang Hong a chance to show off, linking arms with Fang Yingying and walking out of the restaurant's main entrance. Chapter 104. I never thought that in just 3 years, the formerly pure and innocent Wenqing would fall so low as to become a gold digger. Old Yang, listen to my advice. Wenqing is no longer the girl worth your efforts. After Wenqing and Fang Yingying left, Chun Bo spoke bluntly. Given his relationship with Yang Hong, there was no need to beat around the bush. Hey, Bozy, you don't have to like her, but please don't slander her. Ching isn't that kind of person. Besides, in this day and age, which girl doesn't have a bit of vanity? Her actions have already gone beyond mere vanity. Look at this whole table. If she cared about your wallet even a little, she wouldn't have done this. She doesn't come to places like this often. She just wants to try new flavors. Men are responsible for earning money and supporting the family, and women are responsible for being beautiful like flowers. That's a law of nature. I can satisfy this little bit of vanity she has. Chun Bo was speechless. He never realized before that Yang Hong was such a simp. Who says top students can't be simps? Yang Hong was a living example. Even things that Zhang Zhao and Bao Chong couldn't handle, Yang Hong had no idea where he got his confidence from. We can't finish all this. Why don't we pack some for your girlfriend? They only had a bite. Most of it hasn't been touched. Looking at the table full of delicacies, Yang Hong mentioned. Yang Hong knew about Chun Bo being detained for soliciting. Of course, he was the one who signed for Chun Bo. He just didn't know the truth behind it, thinking Chun Bo was genuinely caught for soliciting. We broke up. Yang Hong looked up at Chun Bo in surprise. It's good that you broke up. Your girlfriend clearly wasn't someone you could hold on to. But it's not her fault. It's yours for being unable to control yourself, cheating and getting caught. Chun Bo sneered, then concisely explained the whole story. Yang Hong's expression gradually shifted from shock to anger, and he suddenly stood up and slammed his palm on the table. This instantly drew the attention of everyone in the restaurant. Beast, oh beast, is this something a human being would do? You weren't bad to her these past 3 years, were you? All the money you earned delivering food, didn't she spend it all? How could she have the nerve to do such a thing? Can you keep your voice down? Why do you seem more upset than I am? Yang Hong glanced around at the strange looks, then sat down sheepishly. How can I not be angry? How can there be such a despicable woman? Don't worry. I'll make sure they get the punishment they deserve. Hearing this, Yang Hong stared at Chun Bo intently. Bozy, please don't do anything rash. It's not worth it for those 2 scoundrels. What are you thinking? I would never go down a path of crime for them. I will use my own methods, reasonably and justifiably, to make them wish they were dead. Seeing Chun Bo so calm, Yang Hong also breathed a sigh of relief. If these things had happened to him, he really couldn't say what he might have done. Fortunately, our Qingqing isn't like that. Although she's a bit vain, she's still a pure maiden who hasn't even held a boy's hand. When it comes to matters of men and women, Qingqing is a very conservative, traditional girl. Yang Hong smiled proudly and contentedly. You even know if she's a pure maiden? Chun Bo looked at Yang Hong in astonishment. Of course I know, she told me, Yang Hong said as a matter of course. She told you, and you believed her? Absolutely. Chun Bo couldn't help but slap his forehead. At this moment, he felt as if he was looking at his past self. No matter what Lin Mengyao did, he would unconditionally believe her. Even if someone reminded him that Lin Mengyao was not a simple girl, he would only consider it malicious slander. Good advice is hard to give to the doomed. People can't teach people, but experience teaches them in one go. Only by experiencing it himself would Yang Hong truly understand. When it came to paying the bill, Yang Hong, who had just been bragging about being able to satisfy Wen Qing's vanity, turned pale. This meal alone cost 12,800. For Yang Hong, who had made a small fortune in business, it was still a considerable pressure. The problem was, after spending 12,800, Yang Hong only got a thank you and I love you from Wen Qing. Oh no, the I love you was because Yang Hong had given her a bag worth 30,000. Yang Hong paid the bill with tears in his eyes. With his plan failed, Yang Hong no longer had the mood for fun. After dropping Chun Bo off at school, he left in a hurry. Back in the dorm, Chun Bo contacted Feng Enan, and they started playing Honor of Kings together. It must be said that Feng Enan's skill was indeed strong, raising the standard of their dorm's noobs by a level. She even miraculously created a record of 10 consecutive victories. Fourth brother, where did you meet this girl? She's incredibly amazing. Every game is a gold MVP. And her temper is so good. If anyone else encountered teammates like us, they would have started scolding long ago. So strong and so gentle. Does she have some dirt on you? Having risen 10 stars, Huang Bin was very curious about where this girl came from. And she didn't hide her flattery and fawning over Chun Bo at all. What dirt? I just spent tens of millions on gifts for her online. That's all. Chun Bo told the truth. Look at you bragging, only tens of millions? Why don't you say you spent hundreds of millions? You don't know. Giving gifts is hard work, and it's very boring. That's enough, fourth brother. You're almost going to blow your own horn off. Just as Chun Bo was about to press on, aiming to reach King Tier under Feng Enan's leadership, his phone rang again. Looking at the caller ID, it was still Yang Hong. And after Chun Bo answered, the voice on the phone was not Yang Hong's. Are you Yang Hong's friend?
Chun Bo frowned. I am.
Who are you? Don't and waste my time. Listen up. Yang Hong cracked open my brother's head. You have 2 choices. Either we crack open his head too, or you pay my brother's medical expenses. If this call hadn't come from Yang Hong's phone, Chun Bo would have suspected it was a scam. He was fine a moment ago, so how did Yang Hong crack open someone else's head? If you dare touch him, I'll make sure all of your heads are cracked open. Chun Bo's voice was filled with malice. Oh, really? You're quite arrogant. Do you know who I am? How dare you be arrogant with me? Then, a scream from Yang Hong came from the other end of the phone. Kid, your friend made the first move. Even if we cripple him today, we're in the right. Even if it goes to the police station, you can't do anything to us. Chun Bo's heart had sunk to its absolute lowest. Good. Very good. He also wanted to know the limit of the pain caused by the Taiwei needle technique at this moment. How much are the medical expenses? I'll send them over to you. Don't try to set us up. If we name an amount, wouldn't that be extortion? We have some legal awareness. Zindui KTV on Tianhe Road, room 808. Don't think about calling the police. We're not afraid even if you do. Chun Bo hadn't expected this. These people actually had some legal awareness, but probably not much. Chapter 105. From the commotion I heard over the phone just now, that group of people must have attacked Yang Hong. How could Chun Bo let them off? The Taiwei acupuncture technique is miraculous. It can cause unbearable pain without leaving any visible injuries. It can even trigger hidden diseases within the body, causing a person to drop dead silently without leaving any evidence. But the wailing and howling of that group would surely attract the attention of others. Moreover, there are surveillance cameras everywhere in such entertainment venues, and he didn't want to expose his superhuman abilities to everyone. He thought of the rich second-generation group he had just joined. These people spend their days in entertainment venues in Yangcheng, so they must be familiar with Zindui KTV. It's even possible that the young master of Zindui is one of the group members. With this in mind, he opened the WeChat group. At this point, the unread messages in the group had reached over 300. Do you guys know? Being in the same group as President Bo is also capital for bragging. Just now, several of my friends begged me to add them to this group. Haha, that's for sure. President Bo's addition instantly elevates the group's prestige. He spent $500 million in one go. Who else can be so extravagant? President Bo, you are simply my idol. When will you organize a gathering so everyone can witness President Bo's charisma? Chun Bo smiled faintly as he looked at the messages in the group. He then composed a message and sent it out. Hello everyone, who among you knows the owner of Zindui? Management is fine too. Tonight, I want to book the entire Zindui for some private business. As soon as this message was sent, someone immediately replied, Holy crap, President Bo wants to book the venue. Who among you knows the boss of Zindui? Don't be so surprised. How much does it cost to book Zindui for one night? That amount is nothing in President Bo's eyes. You're right, I was shallow. At President Bo, how about Sofitel KTV? It's owned by my family. If President Bo can personally come, I can arrange an 80% discount. At President Bo, my uncle is a shareholder of Zindui, but at this hour, there are already guests inside. Booking the venue will be quite difficult, but I can help you ask. A netizen named Jingdi at Chun Bo. Tell him I'll pay double the price to book the entire venue. Chun Bo replied in the group. President Bo is just domineering, directly offering double the price. Haha. I'm really curious about President Bo's true identity. He's so damn awesome. If that doesn't work, President Bo can just acquire Zindui KTV directly and let them keep blabbering, ha ha ha. If it were anyone else, I'd think he was bragging. But if it's President Bo, I'd think President Bo is still too modest. The atmosphere in the group became extremely lively again. Chun Bo clicked on the avatar of Jingdi. He was surprised to find that this Jingdi was Lu Jingheng. Lu Jingheng? Private chat. Upon receiving Chun Bo's private message, Lu Jingheng was incredibly excited. He deeply understood Chun Bo's power. Having just spent $500 million on gifts on the Tiger Eye platform, President Bo's reputation in the group was unprecedented. Everyone wanted to befriend President Bo. If he had contacted Chun Bo rashly, it would have seemed very suspicious and abrupt. Moreover, it would have appeared too goal-oriented, easily making him annoying. This time, Lu Jingheng finally got his chance. He naturally couldn't let it slip away. Senior brother Chun Bo, hello? Besides booking the venue, do you have any other requests? Just clear out everyone except the guests in room 808. Lu Jingheng was puzzled, a look of confusion on his face. But Chun Bo had spoken, so he only needed to execute it. After finalizing the booking arrangements with Lu Jingheng, Chun Bo contacted Zhang Jingwen again. To use the activity fund, it could only be done through the girl bound to him. Chun Bo immediately thought of Zhang Jingwen because Lu Fei and Lin Mengyao were not suitable for such an occasion. Wenwen, are you free now? Absolutely. I'm quite idle right now. Is Brother Bo planning to take me somewhere fun? Zhang Jingwen replied instantly, her tone filled with anticipation. Tonight isn't for fun. It's for serious business. As long as I can be by Brother Bo's side, anywhere is fine. This was Zhang Jingwen's heartfelt thought. Even if Chun Bo asked her to accompany an old man to network tonight, she wouldn't complain. Ever since she saw Chun Bo spend half a small target in Feng Anan's live stream today, she had made up her mind to stay by Chun Bo's side. She knew that the girls around Chun Bo were all stunning beauties. Attempting to monopolize Chun Bo was simply wishful thinking. Moreover, compared to other beauties, she had a fatal flaw. That was, her body was no longer perfect, no longer pure. She only regretted her youthful ignorance, having been deceived by a hooligan early on and losing her virginity, only to be abandoned by him in the end. This was a secret sealed in her heart, and also a past that made her feel inferior. Therefore, as long as she could stay by Chun Bo's side, even as a mistress or a fourth mistress, she wouldn't mind. Zhang Jingwen drove the Ferrari SF90 that Chun Bo had given her and arrived at Zindui KTV on Tianhe Road. Lu Jingheng and a burly middle-aged man with broad shoulders, a slender waist, arms covered in tattoos, and a natural aura were already waiting at the main entrance. Seeing Chun Bo and Zhang Jingwen get out of the car, Lu Jingheng immediately went to greet them. Senior brother Chun Bo, everything has been arranged for you. Let me introduce you. This is my uncle Zhang Xinyang, one of the shareholders of Zindui KTV. Hello, President Zhang. Thank you for your trouble with tonight's matter, Chun Bo said courteously. President Bo, it's an honor to finally meet you. Your reputation truly precedes you. It's my privilege to be able to help President Bo, and I hope President Bo will give me more guidance in the future. Zhang Xinyang's aura indicated he was no simple character. Yet at this moment, he adopted a very humble posture. He showed no trace of the arrogant demeanor of a wealthy man. Zhang Xinyang operated various entertainment venues in Yangcheng and was a figure who had connections in both legitimate and illegitimate circles. As a leading figure in the entertainment industry, he would occasionally watch live streams online. Sometimes, when he was happy, he would even send hundreds of thousands of yuan in gifts to streamers, showing off in front of female streamers. Of course, hooking up was also one of his goals. Hundreds of thousands of yuan were nothing to a wealthy man like him. However, today, Zhang Xinyang adopted a very humble posture, because he was facing President Bo, who spent tens of millions at a whim. Moreover, he had received unofficial news that President Bo invested 5 billion in Weining real estate without asking for any equity. His only condition was for the head of Weining real estate, Lu Hui, to be his mistress. In front of such a powerful figure, Zhang Xinyang truly couldn't stand firm. Have the people inside been cleared out? Except for room 808, which President Bo mentioned, and a few trustworthy staff members, everyone else has been cleared out. President Bo, just do whatever you want. As long as no one dies, I, Zhang, have the ability to cover for you. Zhang Xinyang was not Lu Jingheng. The moment he knew Chun Bo wanted to book the venue, he knew what Chun Bo was going to do. However, to someone like him, who dealt with both legitimate and illegitimate circles, such a matter was no big deal. Chapter 106. Look at him, now that's a true big shot. Under the current anti-gang crackdown, to dare say, as long as no one dies, everything can be handled. His power is undoubtedly formidable. In this society, money is just one measure of strength. Connections and having someone higher up are equally important. It seems after this incident, it's necessary to develop my own network of connections. President Bo, if you don't mind, you can leave this matter to us, to avoid dirtying your hands, and it won't cause you any trouble, Zhang Xinyang suggested. He had originally thought that a prominent figure like President Bo would always be accompanied by several bodyguards. In addition to ensuring President Bo's personal safety, they could also help handle some dirty or laborious tasks. In fact, most wealthy individuals operate this way. As long as the pay is sufficient, some people are willing to do it. Yet, so far, Chun Bo has only arrived with himself and Zhang Jingwen. Moreover, Chun Bo's first impression on Zhang Xinyang was that he wasn't adept at handling such matters, so it was better for Zhang Xinyang to proactively take on the task and seize an opportunity to impress the legendary President Bo. I appreciate President Zheng's intentions, and if I ever need your help, I certainly won't be polite. But I don't know the current situation inside, so I'll go in and take a look first, Chun Bo said, maintaining a humble yet firm demeanor, as steady as a dog. This conduct and temperament perfectly matched Zhang Xinyang's expectations for Chun Bo's identity as a wealthy tycoon. All right, we'll all wait outside. President Bo, just say the word if you need anything. Zhang Xinyang still said politely. I owe you one. I'll treat you to a meal later. Chun Bo and Zhang Jingwen entered private room 808. The entire room was filled with smoke, a choking mix of smoke and alcohol, making the air thick and foul. The heavy bass vibrated the floor, and multicolored spotlights rapidly switched and swept across. Beams of light crisscrossing and quickly flashing over the faces of the men and women in the room. Under the dim lighting, Chun Bo could clearly see 4 men and 2 women sitting on the sofa in the private room. The 2 women were none other than Wen Qing and Fang Yingying, with whom he had just had dinner. Among the 4 men, one had his head wrapped in thick gauze, but he seemed surprisingly energetic, showing no signs of weakness from his injury. Yang Hong, on the other hand, was curled up in the corner of the private room. Under the flickering and faint lights, Chun Bo could tell he had been beaten, and quite severely. His face was swollen from the slaps. Oh, it's just the 2 of you? You've got some nerve. I thought you'd at least bring a few people. One of the young men immediately shouted into the microphone upon seeing Chun Bo and Zhang Jingwen enter the room. His voice was so loud that Chun Bo frowned. From the voice, Chun Bo knew that this punk was the one who had called him earlier. Ignoring the punk's provocations, Chun Bo proceeded to turn off all the lighting effects and sound system in the private room, and switched on all the main lights. Instantly, the entire room became as bright as day, and everyone's expressions were clearly visible. Looking at Yang Hong's face, swollen like a pig's head, Chun Bo smiled. Old Yang, what happened to you in such a short time? As he spoke, Chun Bo pulled Yang Hong up from the floor. Yang Hong gave an embarrassed laugh. I was impulsive, and I regret it now. You were right. She's just a gold digger. Totally not worth it. Haha. Soon, Chun Bo understood the whole story. After Yang Hong dropped Chun Bo off at school, he originally intended to go home and rest. But looking at the large bouquet of exquisite roses in the back seat, Yang Hong felt it was a shame to just throw them away. Considering he had already given gifts, eaten dinner, and spent money that evening, he might as well take a chance and confess his feelings to Wen Qing. However, Yang Hong sent Wen Qing several messages, but received no reply. So Yang Hong resorted to the most foolish method, waiting for Wen Qing at her school gate, like a hunter waiting for prey. Yang Hong was a man of action. If he wanted to do something, he did it. He took the bouquet of red roses and parked his brand new Audi A5 by the roadside in front of the school. Yang Hong waited for Wen Qing's appearance, all the while rehearsing his confession to her. About an hour later, a black Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon parked directly next to Yang Hong's Audi A5. The Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon was Yang Hong's dream car. Seeing this Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon park beside him immediately caught Yang Hong's attention. Yang Hong wanted to see who could be driving a Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon. But after several minutes, the people in the Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon showed no intention of getting out. A little while later, the Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon actually *******. Yang Hong's eyes immediately lit up. Even if he hadn't eaten pork, he had seen pigs run, hadn't he? He instantly understood what was happening in the Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon. TSK, TSK, TSK. Yang Hong found this melon utterly delicious and captivating. 5 minutes later, everything returned to calm, and the big melon abruptly ended. Everything became peaceful again. Only Yang Hong's heart was burning with desire. The people in the Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon were also incredibly inconsiderate. With a window rolled down, they tossed a wad of trash onto Yang Hong's car window. If Yang Hong hadn't been enjoying their melon, he would have gotten out to confront them. A few more minutes passed. The couple in the car finally got out. The girl's hair was disheveled, and her black stockings had several holes in them. But why did the LV floral dress she was wearing look so familiar? It wasn't until Yang Hong clearly saw the girl's face that his limbs went cold and his mind went blank. This was none other than his goddess, Wen Qing, whom he had described as very traditional, conservative, and a maiden. This realization was like a sharp blade, dealing him 10,000 critical damage points to his heart. It turned out that the very important matter Wen Qing had mentioned was to go on a date with this young man driving the Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon. So what was he, then? This bitch not only accepted his bag worth 30,000, but also spent over 10,000 yuan of his money on one meal. Was she treating him like a fool? At this moment, Yang Hong felt an intense sense of humiliation. Enraged, Chun Bo got out of the car and stopped Wen Qing and the young man. That young man was also asking for trouble. This was originally a conflict between Yang Hong and Wen Qing, and had nothing to do with him. But he insisted on insulting and provoking Yang Hong with various words. In a moment of desperation, the furious Yang Hong grabbed a brick and directly cracked the young man's head open. And so, the current scene unfolded. Wen Qing, we're high school classmates after all. Don't you know how Yang Hong has treated you all these years? Even raising a dog would develop feelings, right? Is this how you treat him? Ignoring the young men around Wen Qing, Chun Bo gazed at Wen Qing with a somber tone, questioning her.